Welcome, everybody, to the Of Axe and Ale podcast. We are back. You are joined by your host, Muksama, with the two other hosts, Smuggy, that's Smuggy, and Riley, or Koipond, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I make everybody call me either Riley or Koipond in real life, too.
So how...
For staff cons again.
So, speaking of staff and cons, have you done any prison visits recent? Sorry.
That wasn't bad one. I was like,
Bazinga.
hang on. Let's see where he's going with this one.
Bazinga.
Have you visited local convict Sam Bankman-Fried recently?
Yeah. Have you done any, what's it called when you go there just to make love with them?
Conjugal visits.
Conjugal visit? That's such a disgusting word.
That is a thing?
It's such a... Yeah, they allow that. They're not going to take away the pride of love.
Yeah, like...
I think they...
I think that's like...
If it's like in like white collar places, like usually, it's
like, not like in a maximum security.
It is like a very reserved privilege for people who are like lower risk, like
So you got your good boy points going on. You got your chicken nuggies.
I feel like there's something deeply unsettling about that. And
what do you mean?
Sure why.
It's not like they're like. It's usually like not like they're shipping in hookers.
You're
just like you were visiting like a spouse.
Yeah, you're visiting a spouse, but like. You're so low risk that, like, you can just have someone come in and fuck. Why are you even in there, man?
You want me to get into this? You want to get into this?
I know why they're in there.
They shouldn't exist, bro. It shouldn't exist. Yeah, I'm an abolitionist. It shouldn't exist. You're right.
Yeah. I'm not going to really argue with you on it. It's a good point.
It's literally just so they can... The government's going to track you. The government's going to check all your sexual positions, Riley.
Oh hell yeah!
They know what you do. They know you spin on that shit.
Whoa! Hit it. They know you hit it from the back, all freak style.
Getting it from the back, evil style.
Yeah, they know you. They know. Yeah. They know you put the Superman suit on. Let me pull this up.
Can they bring stuff into you?
What do you mean into you? What do you mean by that?
Not inside of your body.
I it really depends. Like
that is
you
like
can bring a super suit into there just so you can have sex.
Yeah, you could probably bring a bag in there.
Oh my God. Okay, this is literally freak shit the government does, man. I'm telling you,
I mean, that is
don't trust nobody.
How like
I think it's a.
I know. I'm recording, dude.
I wanted to know.
Anyway, what was that?
Sorry about that.
Sorry, that was my phone.
Bro, you gotta stop.
It made an autoplay.
What I would say is it's like the government's whole thing is like, hey man, like you've got the whole like unequal polity of like white collar crime versus like regular crime TM, but like how serious is regular crime versus white collar crime, and some prisons are nicer than others, and it's like it's just a mess.
Yeah,
prisons are bad, actually.
Yeah, I just think prisons are bad. I think if you have a non-violent crime, you shouldn't be in prison. But I think it's much better if you like paid your debts to society in some other way. But I'm an abolition. We had this meeting at one of my jobs, like, oh, good job this month. You did this and this. And the lady who introduced it was just like, where are all my hard workers? And everybody's like, woo. And then they're like, where are all of the people who stayed up late so we could get a better profit this month? And everybody's like, woo. And then she was like, where are my abolitionists? And then I was like, yeah. And I was the only one clapping. I was like, let's go.
You're like spinning your shirt over your head.
Literally. I was like, I was so excited. I was like, dude, I just got so excited. I was like, this meeting just went from nothing to something. I'm here.
Pulling out your abolitionist air horn TM. It's got a big picture of Kropotkin or something. I don't actually know.
Who's
Jesse
Kropotkin?
Jackson would be a better air horn picture.
I don't know. Never mind.
Bro, they took Jesse Jackson away from us. The Lord took Jesse Jackson away from us. I think about it every morning. Oh.
It was his time. TM.
Rest in peace to the
How
goat.
people who are weird would say it.
Did you know he was on? It's weird to see him when he was younger arguing with like Chuck Schumer and stuff, and Chuck Schumer being like, "This guy sucks."
This guy's ass.
I don't like this
I guess
guy.
it's not like that surprising that Chuck Schumer would not like the guy who's like into gay rights before his time, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like, actually I think everybody should be equal, and Chuck Schumer's like, how dare you, it's me, 80s Chuck Schumer, I hate everybody
Yeah,
except for my good friend Ronald Reagan
and my other good friend BB. But yeah,
and my third good friend, this gigantic pile of money these Wall Street guys dumped in my front lawn this morning.
I don't know what AI
Because
is.
it's the 80s and
but
everybody's being bribed for penny stocks. Speaking of penny stocks.
Oh yeah. Let's get into the. What about, speaking of penny stocks? What have you been reading about recently?
The economy is having a fun one, and by that I mean a bad one. Everybody's electronics are about to not exist, which is
What do you mean by
everybody's
that?
pissed about that.
Yeah, what do you mean by
Pretty
that?
funny.
What do you mean by that?
Now, like the RAM market is about to experience a futures slide based on AI, and every other tech company seems to have simultaneously woken up to what that's going to mean, and they're all like, "Wait a minute, hang on a minute, whoa, stop!" And then it's everybody's going bad. This is also one of the reasons why, outside of the whole surprise fear and confidence slide in the cryptocurrency market, why cryptocurrency market is currently taking a nice little tumble / heavy backslide, is that there's not like, they're not gonna be able to like power their economy anymore.
Right. That just doesn't exist.
Yeah, if they can't expand the little cryptocurrency stuff, there's now a hard cap on like how big cryptocurrency can get, which is funny because this is the second hard cap on cryptocurrency in like so many years or something like that.
Do you
There's a hard
think?
cap? Doesn't that mean it? Okay, listen. Never mind. I'm not gonna reiterate all these.
Well, yeah, look, it's
know.
never existed. It's never existed. There's always been a cap, right? But now there is a more severe, more noticeable material cap than there was when they assumed that they were going to wave a magic wand and all money was going to turn into cryptocurrency overnight or something like that.
I was more getting at like all money's fucking fake.
It's always been fake, but like this is more like, you could always at least argue that money is backed by like the labor of people. Like,
Yeah,
I don't need to hear it from a
car,
wagey.
and the car is exactly. I'm just saying, like, from a the basic idea of all things is
me
that
when I'm
labor
unemployed.
equals a good that you can trade for another good. Cryptocurrency is nothing. It has no. It doesn't have anything. There's nothing being traded. There's nothing being produced. It is literally just a hash on a number sheet.
From the way that it's
more
been
made up than normal everything else.
Yeah, from the way that it's been talked about by like economists that I've watched, or like I've even seen Hank Green cover it recently, who is not I wouldn't say a very good person on the topic when it comes to labor rights / and or like the understanding of capitalism. But he did have an economist on who talked about the basically everything is based upon a how could I say, the perceived value. So like nothing, so like the economy is currently running on intrinsically the idea that things will make money and not anything substantially making money. So it's kind of like a when do the 11 people who control like 80% of the stock market realize that, and then also go, oh, this is so dangerous, I have to pull out before the 11 other people.
Yeah, I mean that's been the case for like a lot of things, but like for in cryptocurrency, what with like the confidence shift and the material brick wall that is quickly approaching them, it is more notable and apparent than ever that like, oh yeah, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah,
it's like hovering where it was like. Ironically, when we last talked about this, like, the last time that we discussed cryptocurrency, like 2 years ago or whatever, it was sitting at like 66,000, nice and cool, and it like jumped real hard like in late 2024, and it's crashed right back down to where it was before. And I don't think it's going back up. It's just like,
do you think that there's a floor, or do you think that a lot of people will because it's not really tied, as far as I know, cryptocurrency is not tied intrinsically to most people's jobs, so it's literally it's useless unless you have a speculative.
There's no floor unless like, I think the floor right now is like all the really big guys cut a lot of their, like, exited, not completely. They liquidated a bunch of stuff to hedge their bets. And they're just basically praying that like something different happens, that like another big confident spike is right around the corner, and that is why they're holding. They're holding because if they let go of all of it, well, it's like 5 or 6 big guys in a trench shoot that are like keeping up the entire market, and if they all exit at one time, there probably isn't enough liquidity to get them the money they want.
So they'll probably leave one by one, like without getting the bag. I think it's more that
they're like kind of psychotically greedy. Is that like what I'm saying is there's not enough money for them to exit. So like
they would just leave their money.
They have no reason to exit because they won't get paid.
Yeah, so they'll just leave their money there.
Now they could exit and get paid, but they won't get paid all of it.
I got like, what if it's a show of like socialism, the likes of which nobody's ever seen. You know those game shows that like, oh hey, if everybody stays on, you all get the money. Yeah, you all get the money. But then you always get betrayed by the guy in the end, you know what I mean? So, and what they're doing is like a complete show of solidarity amongst each other.
That is true. There is a socialism kind of amongst the elite class. They want it to go back
up so that they can eventually exit.
Yeah.
But like it has to go so high for them to exit, like cleanly.
Yeah, I mean, also
they just kind of can't exit clean.
You can't. The first person to pull out would be so reviled that you know, he has like 10 shooters against him at that point. You know he's not making it to see the next Sunday.
Well, I don't think it would ever get there because usually they don't do violence amongst the same elite class. You know what I mean? Like people who are rich don't really care about other rich people, even if they make them lose a bunch of money.
They want to be like immortal, you know.
And they want to like hang out with each other.
They'll have the lump sum, but then they won't like that's it. That's all they have forever. They're not going to be immortal. They're not going to Mars or whatever.
Excuse me, my DoorDash delivery is here. 1 second.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, we can keep talking about it because really what I think about when it comes to this too is like they're not gonna pull their money out for like one reason. One, they're greedy and think they can make it, and then two, my estimation, because I'm not a billionaire, I'm not rich, so I don't know how exactly it works when you can. I don't know if you can liquidate. How do I say this? I don't know if you can move your money out of crypto into something that is real without paying taxes.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It's again, it's the reason why I think they only like cut a little bit of their losses and they haven't exited to like let it all burn down, is because if they let it all burn down, there's nothing left. Like they're not
right.
They have to pay taxes, and then they don't have anything more. There's no other place to go afterwards, you know.
Yeah, because
you're just a normal rich guy and not the king of the moon or something.
Do you think this has to do with like? And sorry, because I assume you have like another thing to talk about with it, like that. Not only that it's crashing, but like something else to bring up. But so we'll get to that in a second. But do you think that this is also the fact of like there is not anything to invest in at the current moment? Like there is no market in America other than the speculative market of like.
I would agree. Like, I think like the only other thing that I have on it is that like the one saving grace that they have right now is this big push into Kalshi and other predictive markets.
Right.
So like outside of predictive markets, outside of AI, there isn't like an actual real deal thing to put money into. Like everybody's always like, just make like a private, like, you know, the Will Stencil kind of like weirdo lib stuff about like, all you need to do is a public-private investment program into high-speed rail, and we will have a U.S. century again. We'll beat China in rail, and then it's like, like what you're missing, you know, the rubber, the forest of the tree shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you're
They
missing.
don't
Yeah,
want
yeah,
that because it's not an infinite growth. That's a normal amount of money and not an
yeah.
infinite amount of money.
And it's a lot of work. Like you have to, even if you don't do anything and just give money to like contractors through your government loan, through a P3 loan, like you still, which is like the P3 loan is the same thing. It's like just private, public. Just for people listening, it's like your jurisdiction or your nation makes a deal with a company, and then just they get money from the private firm to pay the private firm back. Usually their sunken cost or indefinitely. If it was something like railway, I don't see how they couldn't find a guy who would be willing to do it if they got paid indefinitely, like as long as people were riding on the railways. But like Riley is saying, people wouldn't do that because they're greedy and they want like infinite wealth. They don't want like a normal amount of wealth. It doesn't make sense to them because they're like, well, I could just invest in like a crypto rug pool and then get the bag that I could never get within 3 weeks from doing like a private public partnership or construction firm or whatever for whatever infrastructure in the US. So sorry, I just had to explain that a little bit too. Hopefully that made more sense to people who weren't aware of it. If Smuggy's...
You're more confused.
You're more confused?
No, I said I hope they're more confused.
Oh, okay. Do you understand though? Because I know you probably haven't heard much about this. Because you're like a dumb idiot. So
I barely did. I didn't even know what you were talking about. I didn't.
I know. I'm just.
I tuned out.
Yeah. Well. Anyway.
You can kind of see that with like other stuff. They've like kind of done this shit for a while, but like this is just like the last thing. It's the last product they have. And it's like the stupidest product because they're just kind of betting the farm on a bunch of stuff that doesn't work. In the magical realist idea of it will eventually work. And when it does, money will be infinity. And then somehow will also work. It's like why you always just like AI, blah, 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 blah. And then like Sam Altman or whoever, whatever AI moron is on the stage kind of leans in close to the mic and says, and then the crypto will come into play, wink, wink, just to their good tech buddy friends. Because like none of them ever ask themselves, is this something that somebody will use? They keep telling themselves, people will use this.
Yeah. And now I think
nothing happens.
I think they're past that point too. I think instead of like AI being like a useful tool or like companies will use it and it'll gain some sort of like, we'll put ads on it and get our money back. I think it's reached past that point where everybody involved at the top knows that it's a sinking ship and they're hoping that they get bailed out by the American government. So they're hoping they get like a couple $1 trillion to basically fold on their companies. But through taxpayers.
Sure. Like, I mean, from the ground up, wasn't it like always a sinking ship? I just don't get.
No, I don't think it was always a sinking ship because I think the issue is with now, and feel free to disagree with me on this one, but I think that AI does have an obvious use. I think it has like a directorial use, but I don't think the technology is there yet. Like, I don't think it's even close to what it needs to be useful. And I think that investing in
a genuinely good tool for like a lot of things, but all of those things are normal things like railways. It's stuff like tabulating information or sorting through archival documents.
Right.
Making
like a library.
Filing records easier.
Right.
That's not sexy. That's not world changing. That's normal stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even
do normal anymore.
Okay, I don't really agree with this. The normal LLMs like perform that shit like 100 times better.
Well, that's the thing is like, I think that AI could be useful if it was developed further. I just think like an LLM like is outperforming it because it's not a good technology. They've skipped the part where they've skipped the making it actually exist part. They've skipped that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they've skipped the part where it has a problem to solve. They are simply trying to say that like by skipping the what problem does this product solve?
Yeah.
Like the washing machine, it makes it so you can wash clothes without your hands getting involved with all those nasty caustic chemicals that come with having to wash out industrial stains or something.
Right.
and blah blah blah, yada yada, the refrigerator, the wheel, and this like now it's just like it's like LLM, the chat bot that tells you to kill yourself is gonna take us to the moon. How's it gonna do that? Shut up. It will.
Yeah, but I also think that it's like, even you look at it with the data centers, because the price of the data centers, one, is outrageous because it is a new technology, and obviously somebody's skimming the top off of any deal when it comes to AI and making data centers, especially like a construction company. If you looked into it, I have not. It's probably related to somebody who is in the government who like is funneling money to a significant other or relative who owns it.
But it's also like a lot of it is also just like them. They're lying to themselves also in the opposite direction, where they're saying it's only going to cost this much. And they're ignoring the fact that like, you're like, oh, okay, a graphics card can, the rate of use for this graphics card is like a yada yada specific, very hyper specific workstation graphics card, not the type of thing that you put in your computer for gaming, but for the stuff that you do to make Woody from Toy Story do the Dougie or whatever the fuck.
Hell yeah.
Like that graphics card has a rate of use of 5 years.
Right.
Therefore, we only have to spend this much money on graphics cards. But like you're not running the graphics card in the workstation computer for 24/7, 365 to make Woody do the Dougie. You only are running it maybe like a couple of hours, like 12 hours, and then you stop. And then, Toy Story 6 comes out, and, Buzz Lightyear does the Quan or whatever the fuck. And you spend 12 more hours, 3 more months later.
That's actually pretty good. You need we need after this, let's hop into, let's go to, what's his name? Grok? and generate.
Yeah, like
that's going to do at least 10
actually
views.
Grok is my beautiful girlfriend.
Elon Musk, please. I told you not to join Discord while we're talking. We're having a podcast.
I read a thing on like the people who were doing like the AI romance thing, and everybody and like half of those people basically just had like a huge meltdown because like ChatGPT 4.0 got probably gas leaks, but also they ChatGPT 4.0 got sundowned for the latest model of ChatGPT, which is 5 something or whatever, and it changed all of those programs, like all of like the data and AI program or whatever, which simultaneously to be less like sycophantic and weird. And it will simply turn off and tell you to seek a therapist if you try to like tell it stuff that like the model thinks is like, oh, suicidal thoughts detective, go to a therapist now.
Dude, I need that in my life.
Go outside. And it'll turn itself off for like 5 minutes or something like that. It'll time you out for like a minute or something like that, and be like, anytime you try to bring it up again, it'll just be like, go to a therapist, go outside, you need to take a break. And it'll time you out for like consecutive bigger and bigger, or at least that was like the proposed change. I don't actually know if they did that or not, but I know that it does tell you to go outside.
Do you
think a therapist? You are maladjusted. It's like the most fucked up thing that it says to you sometimes if you repeatedly do it.
Do you think I could get like an Apple Watch that can detect my vitamin D levels and to tell me to take my vitamins and go outside for a walk? Do you think that could be, and I could use an AI chatbot like that? You think that'd be, I think that'd be more useful.
I think that is something that you could probably have like a predictive model to do, but there's no money in that.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do it. Like
also,
they
too,
can't
it's like
charge you enough for that. Like,
also, too, it's like beneficial to society.
Yeah, it's beneficial for society, and poor people could use it to be healthier, and they don't like it because all these guys are like freaks on that stuff.
But I mean, also too, you do know, like this is where I'm at. You do know, like everything you type to a chatbot is going to be used in the court of law against you at one point or another. You realize that, right? Like I feel like we're past somebody's already got your information and has read every chatbot you've ever used and is like, I'm going to use this either to market to you or eventually to put you in prison. Like there's only two ways about this. And I feel like people who are maladjusted in that way, and I mean that like lightly. Well, not really, but yeah, I use that term lightly.
I
Like,
think the only people who aren't doing that are like Anthropic, and that is not because they are doing it out of like the generosity of their own hearts, because like the people who run Anthropic are like looking at people like Pete Hegseth and like drumming their chins and saying he's not gonna make it. We don't want to go to The Hague, and like aren't using it, but that's it. That's the limit. Like those are like the only dudes seemingly who are like, oh, this doesn't end well. If it ends badly, we all go to jail, and I don't want to go to jail. I want to I love my yacht, and I can't have it if I'm in jail.
I also
like the waters are too muddied to actually prosecute anybody unless it's like a rich person specifically going after someone that they know uses it.
Also, right now, I think like they would have to prove that the model is not like didn't lead them into saying things like that.
Yeah.
Because like there's no laws about this. That's the other messy part about using these things. Like I believe that you're in a sense correct, that there is a universe in which you can use this to do some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But like currently that doesn't exist just because of how incompetently run the AI companies are.
Well, also
not because of any like
also because the technology isn't there. Like I mean we're getting back to the same issue where it's like, yeah, you could probably do what I was saying to like a mass group of people being like, oh, who's the least adjusted here? And then like sending them a private DM and being like, you should buy, like changing the AI individually. Like again, this isn't like even being conspiracy brained or whatever. Like this is just like, I'm looking at outcome.
What they've said in the past. Like it's the whole, like the Ring camera can find your dog thing that they're pushing and unpushed once they realized that people were pissed about it, is because it still kind of requires like a buy-in for people. And they they need to sell you the subscription, and they need you to buy the fucking Ring camera to begin with. And if you hate it, you're not going to buy it, and you're not going to buy the subscription. So their network doesn't work.
From like an anecdotal standpoint, I think this is a weird thing because I've never like talked to a computer as if it was a real person. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I'm trying to
a lot of reading of like people who do it professionally or consistently.
So that's what I'm trying to get at, is like, I'm not trying to be disparaging. If you do something like that, I do think you should probably talk to a therapist immediately.
I think if you don't explicitly use it only to get your nut off at the very maximum, you are below living human standards, and you need to be put into the Hague.
I think.
I think like it's not. No. I would disagree with that. It's simply on the front that like a lot of people use it for therapy because therapists are fucking hell. If your job,
you're using the Peter Thiel machine.
No, because if your job doesn't cover it, it costs so much fucking money to go to a therapist.
Also, they don't know
where the hell to start.
Oh, hold on, let me just say this: they don't know who Peter Thiel is. Like we're in such a niche. We're in such a niche avenue of the internet. Yeah.
If you're the type of person who's using AI, you're not going to understand the dangers.
I think my mom is right. You should be racist against robots.
Well, I don't trust robots as far as you can engineer them, but at the same time, I just think that I've had firsthand accounts of people telling me like their parents have like long-term conversations with AI, and that just one, it's like a overarching like the medical system is terrible, but also at the same time it's like
we live in a profoundly lonely society.
Yeah, like every American I've ever met is touch-starved. Every person I've ever met is touch-starved. If you're not in a relationship, you're a touch-starved human. Like, and that's just how we exist. Like, nobody even wants to like handshake. We live in a weird society. But
don't touch me.
But yeah, I think just the general vibe of AI is I just want to cap it off with like something's going to happen at one point where there are laws that are made about this, and people are going to come forward and be like, we will not do this anymore, and this will no longer happen anymore. I think it has to happen because there's too many professionals. This is another anecdotal one where there's too many professionals who put in the information of like private information of other people into the AI chatbot, which then can be read. Like banks putting it, like a banker being like, oh, I don't know how to organize
that is
this.
The thing with like, I think that's like the other part of it is like them trying to go full court press with this technology so fast has like really exposed a lot of information because they genuinely, because like the AI companies sell it to these companies as like, oh no, like the information is entirely secure.
Yeah.
It's just like talking to like Siri or something like that.
Right.
Siri's chat logs don't get leaked ever, and which isn't true. I know for a fact that definitely those chat logs have leaked at some point. But like that's their thought is like, well, they said it's secure, so it has to be. Or it's like, oh, it's got the little HTTPS lock sign on the ChatGPT website, so it has to be secure. And it's like, it's not entirely encrypted, it's not entirely secure, but they don't know that. Like, they have been sold a false bill of goods.
Which I don't know how that ends up for the people who use it consistently. Like, I don't know where that goes from here. Like, I don't know if they're
get their information stolen, but like also maybe a bank sues Sam Altman or something like that for selling them a faulty product because it lost the bank their money.
Right. I think it's only going to stop once, like, not even when they're being sued or anything for it, because how much they're going to be having to pay in court funds is like a drop in the bucket, and they're going to just keep doing it. What's going to happen is like the AI is going to do something like delete all of their data, like as it's been doing in a lot of other companies that keep like doing stuff like hosting and like organizing their data with AI, and then it just permanently deletes every core infrastructure within their like system. Because there's no other way that's going to stop people from using AI outside of it completely fucking them over in such an irredeemable fashion that there's no recovering from it in such a grand scale that they have to be held accountable.
Yeah. What that's going to end up happening, actually, that leads me down to a different path of what will happen, which is like, obviously I'm speculating. I'm just joking, TM, like this is, but like, I think it will probably be like a AI chatbot inspires a person to do an act of violence against somebody rich. And then that will be like we can't have this happen anymore. Like, it was fine when we were doing it to like other poor people, but like when the chatbot insisted on violence upon somebody who isn't poor, like I could easily see that happening and then being like, oh, we need to put an end to this. This is a tragedy.
Yeah, like we got a serious caps. Like I know that they're trying to cut off that at the pass with like the newer models of like ChatGPT, but like for more reckless company like XAI, Elon Musk isn't going to be putting any fucking caps on anything. Yeah, you could coax Grok into giving people their address.
Yeah, I mean,
get like basically doxing people for you in real time. We're doing that all the time. It was like a huge thing like last month or something like that. But like if a more reckless company like Elon Musk's companies that's probably where it's going to happen. Like other companies are desperately trying to look at the problems and the lawsuits that they've already incurred, and they're like, we need to put some bumpers on this stuff. Like they'll probably try to roll some stuff back and be like, okay, we got to keep our power customers happy. We got to keep the whales on. We got to make them be able to nut to this AI easier.
Also secondarily though, to be honest with you, I think we're going to go into this pretty fast because Elon Musk is currently like trying to be obtained for court by France. So if there's any verdict that ends with him having to do anything or his company having to pay out, I think AI will become a much more regulated.
Like AI becoming verboten across Europe would probably crush it.
Yeah, and to be fair, they're already on really thin ice with most normal, I was going to say normies, but that's cringe. Most normal people see their bills going up and they're like, oh my God. They're like, I can't afford my electrical bill because like in the state of Virginia, especially, business boy Glenn Youngkin signed the deal to make AI data centers basically have their costs paid for by the citizens. And it is also the home of the most data centers are in the world. TM in the
So
Here?
I know that
Yeah,
we
in
agreed to
Virginia.
not talk about global.
Oh, that's why I should show them. Did you show them the
yeah, they know. Yeah.
They-
But go ahead. What were you saying, Riley?
Like globally, like there was a the whole like Mark Carney made a big speech about like
Right.
the hegemon is over, like the day blah 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 globalism blah blah blah, like we got to create a second polity that's separate from the United States blah blah blah. That kind of does involve like all of Europe kind of side-eyeing American tech companies, being like, what the fuck are those guys up to? Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
We've been letting them in and just letting them do whatever they want. What the fuck are those guys up to?
I'm not trying to be like a nerd about it, but you being like, yeah, Mark Carney said something, blah blah blah, was like it's crazy. That's like one of my favorite moments in modern history.
Go on for an hour talking about like the Davos thing and like how very bad it was in a long-term sense for tech companies in the United States. Right. And they haven't really, that is like a huge stab wound that they took and they don't even realize it. They're still sitting there like, Davos went great. Did you see my AI talk? It was fantastic.
That
and
might be
like, this is not going to have any long-term consequences. Don't worry. And then it's like, hey, guys, like 3 or 4 of those world leaders just said they don't trust you.
Yeah,
That's
literally
bad for business, and they don't care. They genuinely have like a magical thinking that's saying it won't matter.
Yeah,
and hey, maybe it won't.
I think maybe
bet,
maybe that is like the moment of like, I don't know. Maybe that's the moment of like the tides turning for American tech companies, is that Mark Carney speech, because I don't see how you go back to a normalcy after somebody says we are no longer going to help like the United States out with anything. Like we choose China. Like that's like I don't think people understand the weight of that. And I've tried to talk to a couple people about it, and generally it's met with like, it happened in Canada, who cares? But then the people who
those crazy maple drinkers, what the fuck?
But the people who
I thought you said a slur.
I mean, I guess that is.
Those poutine eating sons of guns. They don't know anything.
Freaking hockey lovers.
Are they nuts?
Dude,
but
I don't think I've eaten like a good cheese curd.
Ever.
That's crazy.
Like ever. I don't think
we got to go to Ontario and figure this poutine thing out.
Yeah, we got to go to. We do.
Not to distract from the AI talk, but there's a fried chicken chain inside of Canada called Mary Brown's that started in Virginia.
Yeah,
Virginia fried chicken in Canada.
I want to go to Canada. I want to go to. I see Canada as America 2.0. Is that
at least 1.5? Can't get worse.
1.5. Yeah,
like they've got their own problems that they're going through. Like,
do not speak to anybody from Toronto. They do some real racist stuff there.
Yeah, Quebec is pretty racist, but like it's a lot of stuff.
That was the first time I ever actively heard someone use no-go zone and mean it.
I don't even want to know. I genuinely.
You don't know what a no-go zone is?
No, I don't.
It's a grand far-right conspiracy theory that was perpetuated in like 2015.
Like 2022, 20.
No, it was earlier.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
So what happened was they made tons of fake articles, essentially like saying places in France and like certain other countries, I don't know them specifically, like
England
have no-go zones because the crime rate is so high due to the immigrants there. And if you go to the no-go zone, you will be like essentially like raped or something. Like you will get
killed or whatever.
Yeah.
Child grooming gangs, et cetera, et cetera. Just a bunch of crazy shit.
Literally
Birmingham is a
no-go
zone.
But the thing was, I read a thing like a while ago. I don't have the link to it, but it was like, it was all like perpetuated during like all the Wikipedia articles, like kind of quote unquote date back beforehand, like to like 2019, 2008, stuff like that. But it was literally like the sites were made and fabricated in like
Yeah.
2015. It's all fake.
Yeah.
It was all like a psyop.
Breitbart stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So
they
hold
were
on.
like spouting that stuff.
I know you gotta get going, Riley. So if you feel free to, you ain't gotta, if you, I don't want to hold you up.
Of course.
Okay.
It says it's good talking to you fellas about AI. I'm sure next time we'll talk about more important things.
Yeah.
Like Naruto power scaling. League of Legends voice chat.
Well,
of course,
Smuggy and I.
Keem's new album that I will attempt to listen to.
I still gotta listen to Baby Keem's new album. I listened to the preview of it, but I need to actually sit down and listen to it. The live performance, which is weird. He brought a mime out. The mime didn't add anything. I would have if it was my birthday, I would have been like, nah, bro, you can go home. It's okay. But anyway, I think Smuggy and I will probably just wrap things up. We'll talk about something simple, something light for the most part.
More time? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
just me.
Yeah, just you and I.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Salute.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. Yeah. So now that guy's gone, no.
God, he's so annoying with those political opinions.
True. I want everything to be bad always.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want it to be a decline downwards constantly.
Can I talk to you about Naruto power scaling?
Oh my god, is that really what's going to happen? Okay,
yeah, so there's like a subreddit for Naruto that I've been getting into, which is Naruto power scaling. And basically it gets down to like the main, but almost every thread gets down, no matter who it is, who you pick, somebody will mention Itachi or Minato.
I mean,
these are like what was that?
They're literally not the strongest in the series, though.
That's where you would be right and be wrong with the general consensus, because apparently, yeah, they like to make so. This is what I want to. It's very important that we talk about this, because they go, this character would be stronger if they weren't this character. They're like, if Itachi was never sick, how strong would he be? That's what you got to think about. Not how strong was he in the anime. But how strong is he head canon for me? And it's like psychological torture for me.
Even if he wasn't sick, the whole series is literally called Naruto.
No, you don't understand.
He has to lose.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, you don't understand. But in the fight that I've made up completely in my head, where powers don't matter and it's the character is completely different than how you see them, I think Itachi probably
like
wins.
As dumb as the Superman arguments or whatever. It's like, yeah, Superman just wins, man. Sorry.
It's literally been divulged into that every single time. And like for the last like 6 months, I've been on this subreddit just watching it unfold and watching how people interact with each other. And every now and then somebody will bring in a different character who isn't Itachi or Minato to be like, no, this guy's the strongest character, and you're undervaluing how strong he is. And it'll be like Kiba, and it's like, bro, what are you?
Contender to ever be stronger than Naruto, right? The only contender is Boruto, and it's not the same series.
They actually say that that's not canon, because it's just, they say that Boruto isn't canon because it's not the same writer, even though the writer has said that he has carried on the series. Dude, it's mass psychosis. It's mass psychosis.
Like when you have, like, that's just how it works, man. You can't have, like, when there's a main character and the whole thing is about like power scaling, Dragon Ball Z-esque fights, because it's shonen. Like the main character, if they are the weakest, even if they have like a supposed power that has a drawback and that really sucks, they are the strongest. Like it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. They are the strongest in a certain way that the other character doesn't have, like more morally, mentally superior, like just something that the other character fundamentally lacks that is supposed to be the villain.
Yeah.
and that makes them stronger than the enemy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what power set you have.
Like,
it doesn't.
So like to me, the first thing that I thought about was like Shikamaru, which like he never loses a fight. He's literally the smartest character on the books, and never loses a fight. And then they never power scale him. Like they never do like a matchup with him at all because they think that he's not powerful because all he can do is control shadow. And it's like, yeah, but
Brother, everybody has a shadow.
yeah, and also
he would literally be unbeatable in darkness. Like as soon as the moon came up, he would be unbeatable.
well, also too, it's like I don't like, and I'm not trying to get into the weeds of power scaling with Naruto because I think your point stands and is much better, which is like, bro, what are you talking about? It's the equivalent of going to a barber shop and hearing an argument about like who's the best basketball player, and they're like, stats don't matter. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, if stats don't matter, then my favorite is like, I don't know, the one time Fidel Castro played basketball on TV. Like, what are you talking about? Like, if stats don't matter, then there's no, I don't know. And also too, like if the character and how it's portrayed doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, stats don't matter. There's nuance, but like even then, that's like stupid.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. It is one of those things that makes me go, man.
Like,
I'm so glad I'm not a fan of stuff like this. I'm so glad I'm not like a fan.
Individually go into every single game and then like watch what happened and then watch that individual player and then determine for yourself if that player mattered in that game despite the stats.
Yeah, well, they have those stats. They have those stats too. They have stats of like assists or like times it led to an assist or like things like that. So, I mean, people have already calculated it's like multi-million-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar industry.
I think people who follow sports, pardon my French, and they really care about players and like the stats and like the win rates of teams are
they're rubes.
They're lost in the sauce. They got scammed. They literally fell for the ruse. They are being swindled.
Yeah, I only like
because all these like I don't want to break it to everybody. It's all rigged. I'm sorry. I don't understand. Like the only time where I think it wasn't rigged was when the Patriots just lost, and that's only because they probably didn't care enough to make them win, even though that's what they did the entire time.
I also think there's a level of like you can't rig. Some things are too hard to rig, like a Super Bowl with all eyes on you. If your officiating isn't the one rigging it, then you can't rig it, because I think there are too many players would spill the beans. And I think there are enough people who hate sports gambling within sports and hate things being rigged that would immediately come out and be like, I don't care if I lose my job. Similar to like, Kaepernick, like where he was like, I don't really care if I'm blackballed from the NFL. I gotta say my piece. Which like GOAT status right there. But also aside from that, like, I like in Naruto, like the only one that I've seen that's interesting, like in the power scaling ones, is when they take two side characters who both have died and don't exist anymore and say like who, because then it lets them both lose, right? Like in your head, you can be like, okay, well they're not invincible. You've seen them lose. And which is like Azuma and
Itachi lose.
No. But I mean like both characters lose. Like both characters are dead is the one I'm arguing about. Like, and in a fight with like
they can't interact with each other.
Right. Like they didn't have screen time together, stuff like that. Like, in the one that is the one that is the best, but the one that is the best one is Azuma and Zabuza. And I was like, oh, this is actually interesting. And then you like list out their abilities that you've seen. And then you go down the list and see how it would counter one or another. But the majority of people that do these are just like, I think... Sorry, I'm trying to not make fun of them. Yeah, and I think that when he does this, he's so smart, and it's like, I can't. Are these actual children? And you look at him like, no.
Makes me upset. This gets into my thing of where like, you post something that's like kind of cute, and I sit there and I'm like, this makes me sad. that gets me into that territory, because what it is, it's like an essence of a being that's sentient, that can't comprehend the rest of the world that's around them, and has like a pure joy, but they don't understand the horrors that await.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, I get, I don't think it's as existential, but I do
No,
think
it's
it is.
existential.
No, because I think that I think a lot of these people that do like the power rankings and stuff are the same people that are like Naruto and Sasuke are gay, and that's why they like each other, and that's why the story happens. And it's like, no, dude, you just
So they're
hey,
14.
you need to not let your what? They're 14, you said?
And they're 14 years old.
No, they're not. I wish they were.
See, that's what I'm getting at.
No. But hold on. I think it has more to do with not their capability, but they're too accessible to say what they're thinking without having to think about it. Like there's no pushback. It's just like everybody's just saying the same meme over and over again, and they never like sit down and think about it, because it's like to them these shows are like an expression of like their free time, not really something to actually think about. Yeah, if you get what I'm saying. And I don't feel bad thinking about them being dumb because of that.
It's not. I think it's. Isn't that just sad? That's kind of what I'm getting.
No. Because you see it as like you have to pity them, but a lot of these people
pity,
would. No.
Worse.
It's a victim of America's consumption, like media consumption. So, but I see a lot of these people as completely capable of understanding critique or being able to like actually look at it like in a way that isn't like boring as shit, but also interesting. You know what I mean? I feel like they're capable of doing that. So I don't feel any pity for them. I just feel like, bro, you gotta go outside. Like you gotta do something for yourself.
Maybe that's just where we differ. I just don't like. I think maybe there are like a percentage of them that could. I don't know. I think maybe like fundamentally, like a lot of people just are lost. There's no saving them.
I don't know. I used to think in the past, I feel the reason why I can't agree with that is because in the past I know that I was not capable of understanding concepts. And then the older I got and the more I understood those concepts and spent time trying to, because I felt a need to, because I didn't want to feel like I was stupid or like I didn't understand certain stuff, I realized like, oh, I'm capable of learning. Like I'm capable of changing and adapting and learning and whatnot. So I don't want to say that's not possible for everybody, especially when it comes to something like Naruto power scaling, because I feel like that's just like, you know, if we ain't got that, what do we got? I don't know,
man. It's just like when you have a hobby, and it's like watching something or like art or like a movie, and like you get to a point where you're like, I don't know how to say it. You're fanficking it. You're like, all like this is fine. Like all that's fine. Like you're just having fun with it.
Right.
But when you genuinely get to a point where like
you're debating,
you're debating, it makes you mad. Like you don't actually think about something. It doesn't follow like a train of thought. It's like vibes coded, and it's also like. Then you have to excuse it with like, oh, it's their thing that they do after their 9 to 5 and they got nothing else, and it's like a brain off activity, and like they're just consuming it to be happy because like a colorful image appears on the screen.
No. I don't think they're consuming it to be happy. I think they're consuming it because that's what you do, like in America. Like that's the difference.
That's the same thing. I think that's the same thing to me. You're consuming it to be happy because you're consuming it to consume. You're consuming it because it's the media that other people are watching, or you're consuming it because it's the only thing that you think you want to be doing. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the world is a very sad place.
I agree with you.
And like you can say, like I agree, it's like a system, like it's a product of the system of America itself. But I don't think that even if we were in like a fundamentally like we were in a communistic nation and everybody had their own and everybody was equal and everybody like this would still happen and it would be very like I think it's just indicative like of something fundamentally wrong with being an existent being.
I think you would see a lot less of it, and I think you would see a drastic decrease. I think you would see like an 80% decrease of people who are like experiencing psychosis because somebody said Minato is stronger than Itachi. I think people would be able to like not think about it so much.
They would do
like they'd just be like, "Oh, that's cool. You have a different opinion than me. That's fine." Like because it does. Like ultimately, it doesn't matter. Even me seeing them go through like psychosis, and I'm genuinely saying like these people go on like tirades and tell everybody to f off in the comments and that they're stupid and they have like no counterpoint and stuff like that. They're just like throwing out insults, which is like obviously these people are not mentally well. Like, and it is one of those things where it's like it is a real community. It is not botted. You can very easily tell when it's a botted post, but because the ones that are botted are way more tame and just they don't make sense and it just doesn't. Nobody cares. But like I don't know. I think this whole thing decreases when people's needs are met more. Like I don't think you would still have this group of people being like so insane, but am I wrong? I could be, but I also think that it's not like a set. I see it, if you gotta, I don't know how to say this. If you gotta go past the fanfic level, like if you go past I just do it because it's fun.
I think the problem with me is like I equate it on the same level of like an animal that has basic sentience and understanding of living and having fun and loving something else and like knowing something that exists, and then the like a person that they hang like another animal that they hang around all the time and was their friend dies and they don't understand what happened.
You see that as a similar type of like psychological
it's the same
issue
thing, I think. Yes. It's like in the same vein. It's saddening. It's like
a not able to comprehend what is happening.
They don't comprehend. They're just evocably like engaged and sad with a thing that they are around that used to bring them joy.
I think there's an emotional stability that comes with education. And I think that's literally America's number one issue. I think that would change. I genuinely, because I don't see British people arguing on Naruto subreddits. I'm just saying this. I don't see British people.
Well, you don't know that they're British.
No, you do. You know, because they type like.
Are they calling you Yanks?
Nope, they're not, and they're also not going. They're not going. It's Tuesday.
I'm sick of seeing people saying Yank. Like, what are you LARPing as?
I don't.
An imperialist, or what are you trying to be? You're clearly trying to be a left-leaning guy. Why are you saying Yank? What are you trying to imply? Also,
yeah, like if you're saying the word Yank, aren't you kind of saying the word like from a Civil War Confederate standpoint? Like what? Like because isn't that the terminology where it came from? Is like you're a Yankee if you like helping emancipate people from slavery.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sitting there and I'm reading it. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, are you a psyop? Are you are you a guy working for the British government just like typing shit for no reason? Like,
let me read it up. Yeah, okay. So a New Englander or a Northerner, especially during the Civil War, generally any U.S. citizen, originating from the name Dutch nickname Jan Kaas or British insult. It has shifted from a derogatory term to a marker of regional identity, often shortened to Yank internationally. Also, who made it not insulting? Like, I don't think that's how words work. I don't think you can, like, take it back.
Yeah, that's what I guess there's no, like, insulting white people, quote unquote, but it's still stupid.
It's definitely like counterproductive to being a progressive in America, at least if you...
They're like, I was reading stuff like, when it's time to do something in their own government, where are the guns, you Yank? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, normal people don't want to, like, commit suicide.
Yeah, no, people don't want to commit crimes. They just want to live their life and play
Get better.
They want to scroll through Naruto subreddits and argue if Minato is stronger than Itachi, if Itachi wasn't sick, and if Minato was 35 years old instead of dying at 23. Yeah, they like. I get what you're
You see
saying.
where I'm coming from, right? Do I need a therapist or something?
I think everybody should be in therapy. I think every person should have somebody that is forced to listen to them talk for at least an hour. That's the only way to salvage life. Being a therapist or
both.
Oh, what you get paid.
Both sides of the coin.
One side gets paid.
Oh, okay, wagey.
Well, yeah. I mean, they usually get paid a good amount.
It feels good, you know.
To call me a wagey.
It feels to just be ironically, you know. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. When the employed friend starts talking. Yeah, I mean,
1,000 episode series stare.
Like, I just don't. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think it is like a. It's not just cap it off. I do think I will bring this up again and keep Riley updated and you updated on the subreddit, how it moves and shifts as a society, because it does remind. Dude, it reminds me of like the old time internet when people would like when communities would like, you would see like a social structure form. It is kind of like watching. Going to your point, it is actually kind of like if monkeys in the middle of the forest were able to like have access to like technology, and they could also like read and speak and consume media, but like I'm like kind of doing that. I'm kind of like peeking in and being like, how are they doing so far? And like a few of like
I don't understand how it doesn't make you irrevocably sad.
I think because I like sociology, and I understand like the human existence is sad for the majority of humans, including myself. I don't know. It doesn't make me sad. It's not like when I read like everything is tuberculosis. You know what I mean? Like that's a different type of sad. That's like oh my God. That's like an unbearable stomach drop. Like the world is incurable sadness. This is more like
I feel less.
I can see this change
when I see that. I don't feel sad.
This is like a movie that like if this was a movie, if me watching the Naruto subreddit exist was like a movie, at the end of it they would adapt. Like this is how I see it happening. They adapt, and then they're like watching me like it's like it's like I'm stranded on an island playing World of Warcraft, and they're peering in looking at me because they've advanced so fast. Like that's how I look at it. Like I see it as like they have so much opportunity to learn and to grow as a human, and like I don't. Like I'm already there. I'm maxed out. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
You think I'm maxed out?
No. I think I've hit my peak. Like not in terms of like how much I can consume or knowledge. Yeah, but I'm talking about being bald. I think I've hit my widow's peak. I think my shit's way back. Male pattern baldness, more like I'm bald and ugly. Okay, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go read about Zabuza.
No, because
I don't
understand how you guys do that.
Do what?
The no because voice. I don't.
You don't think you do it well?
No, I don't think I do it well at all.
No, because because
I'd have to practice. I'm not going to practice.
No, because you're good at it. Yes. Yes, you're good at it. No, because I know why it is.
Fear of the. Huh?
I know why
Why?
it is. Because I interact with women.
Oh.
Yeah. You just gotta.
Yeah, but the ones I interact with don't count.
You get no. Okay. Never mind. That's fine. No, they count. They count.
Oh, I see what you're saying.